lot on coming to Edmonton here and just be part of the Oilers.
Really excited. I think it's pretty cool. I get to play in my hometown, and I played my whole career in Florida. I was drafted there and everything, and I have nothing bad to say about that organization. They helped me get me to where I am today, and the person I am. So, but I'm happy to be here. I got in last night, and I'm just really glad to be here.
How do you feel you can help this team right now? Peter Chiarelli just talked about how the team's been leaking a lot of goals, hoping that you can help them defensively. How do you incorporate yourself and your game into helping the team defensively?
I think I just add, good value defensively. I think, that's my main role is to play good defense and just make it hard for, the other team's top players. And, it's going to be a hard night every night coming in here, and I think that's the kind of culture we want. And I know, down in Florida, I thought I played physical, consistently, and I'm just going to bring that here, and with a wealth of other things.
The last 24 hours are so late for you. How do you get from there to here to where you sit today for the game?
By airplane, I guess, but no. But it is a quick turnaround. Never been traded in my life, so it's a different experience, something I'm going to learn from. And at the end of the day, I'm just excited to be here, and just can't wait to get going, kind of get my feet under me, and just kind of get to know everyone. And I think the biggest thing is just communicate a lot around here and just kind of get to know guys and just get settled in.
Are you going to live in a hotel, or are you going to just shack up with mom and dad for a bit?
I slept in a hotel last night just because it's closer to the rink, but I might have to start paying rent back home if my parents allow me.
Did that trade take you by surprise, or was it just something that you saw maybe?
I was in and out of the lineup in Florida. I think what I was doing, I thought I was playing well, but just the circumstances that were going on. I think Dale Talon, he had a lot of trust in me, and I think he's a great guy. I've known him a lot, so I just think for him, he's putting me in a good situation, and I think we got a good situation here in Edmonton, and they got a great team. So I'm just happy to be here to add some value.
What was the reaction of your friends and family when they found out you were coming home?
It was pretty crazy. My parents were actually on the flight. They were in Florida for Christmas, and they were flying home the same day that I got the call that I was traded. So they were on the way to Toronto, and I was trying to text them. I couldn't get a hold of them. And then when I was heading out to Toronto, my mom called me when they touched down, and I told them. And I was just getting tons of texts and stuff from friends and family, and it was a pretty hectic day.
I know you come here, you know Nuge. Do you know any other guys? Or?
Find out.
All right.
So.
And why number 45?
Growing up, my dad, before we had iPhones and all the smartphones and stuff, when you had a text on the keypad, he couldn't always type out the words "I love you," so he would send 459, 4 for I, 5 for L, and 9 for Y. I got that tattooed on my back, so it's pretty special for me.
What's the significance?
Just I love you forever and always.
Okay.
So,
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Hey, Joseph, just a thought on getting the call up here. It's going to be pretty exciting for you to come up here.
Yeah, it's the last 24 hours have all been a really big adrenaline rush for me, and that's what I'm kind of going off of right now. It's been a thrill. You wait for this call your whole life, and no matter how many times you play it out in your head, and you could play it out 1,000 times over, and then the way it happened yesterday, I couldn't have pictured it any better. I'm just so blessed and grateful to be here.
How did it happen yesterday? You got the call, got on a plane?
No, so we were actually at the rink. We just played San Diego the night before, and we were getting ready to get on a bus doing a team stretch, and the coach pulled me aside, said, hey, Gamble, you're not making the trip. And I thought initially I did something wrong, or I was like, my body feels okay. And he said, I'm proud to announce that you got your first call up to the NHL, and from there I've been on cloud nine ever since, and made the calls to my parents, my girlfriend, my brothers, and it's been special.
It's obviously going well for you down there. I guess what is it about?
Connor.
It was a long time ago, and that's all that it is.
You talk about just on the heels of that, more just you want to do whatever you can. This team wants to do whatever they can to try and get going in the right direction and put anything that might have happened in the past. It's more about present and future.
Again, I'll just say it was a long time ago. It doesn't matter. Like I said earlier, I think he's going to come in. He's going to help. He's a good player, real solid defenseman. Who wouldn't want that? So.
Peter pointed to your team, the amount of goals you guys have been giving up lately, and just as a group, the need to defend at a different level. These trades will help with that, but as a group, how much does that need to improve?
Yeah, absolutely. We need to be better without the puck. It's on the forwards as well. Defense is definitely a team thing. It's not just on our D or our goalies. It's our forwards. We got to come back as well. So. Obviously, when you take out a guy who plays 30 minutes on the back end in Clef, you're going to miss that. Rusty, if you even count Reggie, you're missing 3. You're possibly top 5, 6 defensemen for sure. So we're definitely a little banged up back there, but I think this will definitely help.
Brandon had said that you texted him. Was that important for you to do?
Well, I text anyone that comes to the team, and obviously Brandon's no different. So I just thought it was important to reach out and welcome him to the team and let him know that I think he's going to help.
You guys are in a pretty critical point in the season. You're still within striking distance of the playoffs, but you're on a bit of a slide. Maybe just discuss this next little run here.
Yeah, a little bit of a slide, obviously. 5 games has gone on too long, so got to find a way to stop the bleeding here and get a win tonight. By no means are we out of it. We're 2 or 3 points back with games in hand. So, if you said at the beginning of the year we'd be sitting here after Christmas, I definitely would have taken that. So, we got to find a way to turn the ship around, though.
How do you feel about Drake being moved on?
I'm gonna miss him a lot. He was a guy that I've known a long time. He's a good player. A guy that I really liked on the team. He's trained with him in the summer. Definitely gonna miss him a lot, but it's part of the business. It's happened enough times to know that these things happen, but I'll definitely miss him.
Connor, you guys found immediate success under Hitchcock when he was hired. Right now on a 5-game slide, he talked about how he sees this as teaching and coaching moments. What can you say about Hitchcock over the last 5 games? Because I know that's a new thing for the team as well.
I don't really know how to answer that, but he's been good as you'd expect for a team that's going through a 5-game losing streak. He's trying to push the right buttons, and we're trying to respond. We have to. Thanks. Thanks, Connor.
All right, second straight day. We're talking about a new acquisition. Just what sort of information do you have on Brandon Manning? And is there a possibility he draws in tonight?
Yeah, I talked to him this morning. He was having his pregame meal on the plane. So he's in at 12:30. He'll be good to go. He wants to play, and we're going to put him in. So both him and Petro are going to play. Joe's up from Bakersfield, and he draws in. He'll play. Yamamoto has an upper body injury, is day-to-day, and won't play tonight. So he's out. And Chris Russell's injury, he's leveled off here, so he's not going to be available until we get onto the road trip. Chason's better today, but won't begin skating until we get to Arizona.
Ken, with these two new acquisitions with Manning and Petrovic coming in, what can they do to your lineup that the other guys that left couldn't?
Well, knowing the business I've been in for feels like my whole life, it's really hard to make trades when you're in a situation that we were injury-wise. So Pete and Keith especially, they deserve a lot of credit for trying to help us here. We're sitting on long-term injuries on Sekera and Clefbaum. Clef at best is probably 3 or 4 weeks away, and we just didn't want to give up the ghost. We wanted to keep going at it here, and so we tried everything we can. What we've got right now are 2 NHL players, both who have played third pair minutes, and in some cases when the game's on the line, both have played second pair minutes. We did our background on both guys. We know both guys very well, especially Manning. And they help us keep this thing going. And all the work we've put in, we just didn't want to take another step backwards. We were struggling back there. I think everybody knew it, including the opposition. And these 2 guys are going to help us get pucks out of our zone, defend better, win one-on-ones, stuff that you need. They're going to buy us some time until the cavalry starts to come back.
Ken, you're from Edmonton, and you've been coaching here. You understand the pressures of being here. What advice can you give Alex Petrovic in that situation?
I think the thing you realize when you... I said this to people. I think, to me, this typifies not only Edmonton, but Canada in general. In this country, people, and in this city particularly, people take second jobs to buy tickets. And that's how much the game means to them. They do extra things so that they can pay for hockey tickets to come to games. So there's a huge investment monetary-wise and also emotionally-wise. And I think you have to come to a clear understanding when you coach in Canada, that's what happens. And so they're invested in every game you play. They're invested in every shift you play. It's a big part of their life. And I don't want to say it was a shock for me, but when I'm sitting having breakfast and there's 20 guys discussing every player on the World Junior teams, it's a little bit of a surprise because we get to watch it from afar. And when you come in here, you understand how much this team and how much the game means to people. And I told both guys that they're lucky. They came from the West. They understand what it's like, but it's bigger than you even thought.
I don't know if you'll tell us this information or not, but...
If it's coming from you, no.
Maybe I'll get Maddie to ask it. Just how you envision using these guys, like potential pairings. Obviously, they're not here for skates, so do you play them together? Do you mix it up? Or?
I had them together last night when I went to bed, and the guy that's going to coach them had them apart and wanted to make them a bigger part of the group. So Trent won out. We're not going to play him as a pair. We're going to play him separately, and we're going to make him a big part of the group. One of the problems we've had, quite frankly, is the pair of Nurse and Larson have struggled because we've upped their minutes so much that it's exposed some things. And so we've got to kind of get more balance in our group. And there's a couple of teams that have gone this route, and it's helped a lot. And so we're going to make them a part of this thing and kind of level out the minutes a little bit more.
Manning in particular was having trouble getting traction in Chicago. Had been a healthy scratch quite a bit. What do you guys think you can unlock in this player, and what do you see his level being as potential?
Well, I think the coaching change impacted whether he played or not. And I talked to the old coach, the guy that's got gray hair, so I know what he brings. And I talked to the guy that coached him for 5 years there in Philadelphia, and I'm well informed. He's a no-nonsense third-pair guy that can build good minutes for you and plays very honest and holds himself and others accountable, which is good for us.
You don't have a lot of goals at forward, and you traded a guy with 7, so in Kajula. So what did he bring you, and how much of a hole does that leave? 7 doesn't seem like a lot, but on your team, 7 is a lot.
Yeah, I don't look at it that way. I think that it's the one position that we've got comfortable depth in is up front, and I mean depth in Bakersfield. So Joe gets the first crack, but there's 2 players down there that we're more than comfortable with that can come up. We've got 2 guys in Yamamoto and Jesse who have come in and they've contributed. So we feel like you got to give up something to get something. And I think what this conference has taught us, this is a veteran conference with a lot of experienced players. And if you cannot defend your own zone and you can't get it out, it doesn't matter what you think you can do offensively, you're never going to get the opportunity. And Jim, what we found out in the last little while since the injuries came in, we're basically dumping it out and changing. That's been our game. And we've been getting exhausted in our own zone. We've not been able to win one-on-ones to get it out. We haven't been able to handle some of the other team's pressure. And now we feel like we're better equipped to do it. And so I think we can make some of the players we have better offensively if we can spend more energy in the offensive zone.
Yamamoto, who practiced yesterday, and suddenly he's got an upper.
No, it happened in the game. He played through it in the game, but he came to practice yesterday, and it was very sore. He tried to get through it yesterday, but couldn't. So we shut him down, and then we came back today, and it was a little bit better. But it is a day-to-day injury, but he's unable to go today. Thanks.